How do I make sure that my students understand addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on a conceptual level? How can I help them master procedures for computation?
All right, Mr. Flores, this is one of the areas where a lot of students with learning difficulties struggle. And so this entire module is focused on whole number content. And we are going to hit upon both concepts and procedures related to whole numbers. So what are we going to work on here? Well, in part one, we're going to talk about what are the important whole number concepts that should be included within intensive intervention. In part two, we're going to talk about what are some of the procedures related to whole numbers that should be emphasized within intensive intervention. And then in part three, we're going to see how all of this fits together. So what does DBI look like when we're focused on instruction related to whole number content? So some of the activities that you are going to do in part one, you're going to do a lot of different drawing of addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. We're going to see how students interpret addition and subtraction and how multiplication and division is conceptualized within problem solving. In part two, we're going to look at lots of different algorithms related to the four operations. And one of the activities you're going to do is you're going to make a video for a parent, because a lot of times you might be doing an algorithm that parents or guardians aren't familiar with. And so what would it look like if you made a 3-minute snippet of a video to help parents see what you're doing in the classroom so that they could be doing the same thing in the home? And then in part three, we're going to identify the important whole number components of intensive intervention. And then you're going to share a video of you teaching an alternative algorithm. And so I really want to see some awesome explicit instruction in play there. Now, why are we talking about whole number content? Well, remember we have our three really important things to think about in terms of instructional delivery, and we have our three important strategies that should be embedded within intensive intervention. And often when we have a scope and sequence for students and we're delivering instruction and we're including strategies related to instruction, that content is related to whole numbers. It's one of the areas where students need to absolutely develop an essential understanding of whole numbers, and so it makes sense that a lot of intensive intervention is going to be related to whole number content. Now in this module, you are going to read this article here. It's about early numeracy competencies and how that relates to students with learning difficulties. And one of the things that you'll see in that article is a graphic organizer. And so when we say early numeracy, that's actually the foundation to everything related to whole numbers. But you can see that early numeracy includes a whole lot of components. So I'd like you to start thinking about that components before we launch into our whole number content. And then by the end of this module, you will do a classroom application. And this is where you're going to start to think about how would you use this information in your intensive intervention. So you're going to talk about 2 ways that you can increase your modeling practices related to whole number concepts, and also 2 ways that you can increase your modeling related to whole number procedures. I'm really excited about this module. I think it's going to help a lot of you out. So let's go ahead and get started with Module 6.